every significant venture and accomplishment comes from complexity. From AI to Doctors Without Borders. Every venture and accomplishment, if they are significant, comes from complexity. Wait, complexity? Is it complicated or complex? Aren't they the same? Nope. That's why you need to hear this idea to understand the difference between the two words so that you can turn complexity into opportunity. I have interviewed hundreds of CEOs and leaders through the years. Many of them got the definition mixed up. It didn't help that dictionary.com used one word to describe the other. There must be a way to make this clear. So let's make this interactive. When I come up here and I gesture this, would you please repeat after me? There must be a way.
There must be a way.
It's up here, louder.
There must be a way.
And when it's up here,
There must be a way.
Thank you. Yes, there is. But before I share the framework with you, some of you might be wondering, where did the idea came from? Once upon a time, like the iPhone and iPad, I was made in China. Grew up in Hong Kong when it was a British colony then. In a refugee family, both my parents have to work. They were allowed to have more than one child, and I became the little mother of 4 young brothers. Between homework and housework, I was so overworked. My dream was to go to America and study. But how? We're not one of those crazy rich Asians. At age 13, I got a job at the sweatshop. The supervisor, Mr. Wang, pointed at the table. Work! Doing what? No menu, no instructions, no training. It was just confusion, unfamiliar, and intimidating. Have you ever been in a situation like that? That you probably feel like, just walk away? There's more. Mr. Wang yells whenever he feels like it. Lazy girl! So slow. It would take you 25 years to make enough money. That'd be way too old to go. Between blood, sweat, and tears, that stubborn teenager found a way. By seeing what's around, what happened, interpreting to make sense, and pivoting, making adjustment until I found a way. So that's SIP. S-I-P. See, interpret, and pivot. Now, instead of me to lecturing, blah, 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 sip this, sip that, let's have an interactive. Let you experience it. Yeah? If you are willing and able, please join me. The only request is please listen well. And do it quickly because there are 3 levels to go. Okay? Level 1. Take that color paper and wave it up so that I can see you all have it. Great. Thank you. Now you're going to crumble it up into a ball. Hold it up. Great. Thank you. You can put your hands down. Let's zip. See what happened? Everyone was doing that. Recognizable. Interpret to make sense. It was easy peasy. Pivot. Do you need to make adjustment? No, you're done. So SIP, S-I-P. When things are simple, easy, direct, it's clear. That's level 1. Okay? Let's go to level 2. If you're willing and able, please join me. I need you to listen really well. Ready? Use your right hand, pick up that paper, put it behind your neck. Use your left hand, reach back and take that paper, put it on top of your head. Use your right hand, take that paper and hold it up high. Awesome, wonderful. You can put your hand down. Great job. So let's SIP. S-I-P. See what happened? Everyone was following the direction. Interpret. You were following, just like everyone else. Pivot. Do you need to make adjustment? Why? It was fun. So that is SIP. When there are multiple steps, that's complicated. When there are multiple tasks, not multitasking, whether it's 5 or 500, following the steps bit by bit, you can reproduce exactly the same result. Example, like the assembly line. Because of the industrial era, we are so well-schooled, well-trained, and well-compensated for solving complicated problems and the process. To a point that a lot of people I have seen, they automatically apply that process, even though it's not appropriate. To help you remember, complicated, the word has the letter T. Complicated with the T. So you just did level 2, complicated. Ready for 3? Game on, level 3. If you are willing and able, please stand up. Use your dominant hand, hold that paper up, and listen well. On the count of 3, only after I finish 1, 2, 3, you're going to make some loud noise, and you're going to throw that paper to my right shoulder. Okay? Right shoulder, right here. Bring it on. Ready? Aimed. 1, 2, 3. Give yourself a hand. Please be seated. You just experienced complexity. Let's SIP. See what happened. There are multiple of you. Interpret. Did you get what you need? Did you get what you want? It's supposed to hit my shoulder. What happened? Pivot. Making adjustment? Make some change? Yeah. How would you do that? Tell Amy to stand still. Don't move. Or negotiate. Maybe just the carpet was good enough. Or maybe just the stage was good enough. When there are multiple agents is complex. Multiple agents interact together, and the results are quite often unpredictable, unintended, and unexpected. That's the characteristics of complex. And quite often, when people don't get what they want, they get upset. They get angry, frustrated, withdraw, or stress out, or start yelling. Not necessarily in that order. But in that case, what is the way to solve the situation? Just realize it's complex, it's multiple elements, and use the SIP. Need to do it again and again until you get closer to the result. Sometimes you might not necessarily get to where you want. The panacea is to keep sipping over and over. And with a sip song of just some adjustment, in the lab we say trial and error. Keep track of what you make changes to see if it's getting closer to what you're expecting. To help you to remember, Complex has the letter X, as in multiple, unknown. So now you've clearly experienced clear, complicated, and complex. In life and business, quite often, it goes from one level to another, back and forth sometimes. When you're first dating somebody, it's clear. You got married, getting complicated. When the kids come along, very complex. Before you know a situation, whether it's complicated or complex, it takes time. And sometimes not making sense. Before you know whether it's complicated or complex, sometimes it takes a while. And before you know which is which, it can be confusing. In a sweatshop, just like an assembly line, it's complicated. However, for the untrained eyes, for the beginner, without menu, instruction, direction, it was confusing and complex. I see what my coworkers are doing, hands waving about. I try to copy them, interpret it. What does it mean? I got some steps down, but then I realized I didn't get the sequence right. Ends up with a lot of delays, unnecessary frustration. Pivot. Okay, here we go, try again. Bit by bit, I was able to narrow it down. Soon I got the process. Oh, just a couple steps. Iron, you fold, you pin, you back. Easy, right? But this was piecemeal. I need to do faster in order to make more money. Then I realized a complicated situation, I didn't know the term at the time, but with all these steps, I can combine them, make it more efficient. I can optimize that. That's a fancy word. I did not know that. And one of the ways I figured out was that I can cross my arms when I pick up the shirt off the rack, flip it in the air, and lay it down on the iron board straight, saving minutes of fussing about. Soon, I was earning so much more money than I ever expected. I went from the worst to the first. My happiest day was when I went to see Mr. Wang. Bye-bye. It didn't take me 25 years, not even 15, only 5. At age 18, I was on my way to America to study and eat hamburgers. Arriving in Chicago, unfamiliar language, strange food, and challenging classes. It was confusing all over again. I remember the sweatshop experience. Let's sip. S-I-P. I see, I interpret, I pivot. That's how I turn complexity into opportunity. Now, back then, I spoke math much better than English. But I didn't use math to solve these problems. From co-op to a real job. Getting my citizenship without marrying an American. And then set up painting on water using water as my canvas, or with this. About 10 years ago, I realized this is a really good process for innovation. So I thought sharing with my clients. One of my favorite case studies is Bob. He's the founder and CEO of a software company. Super smart and also super stressed when we first met. Losing contract, missing deadlines because his engineers are all quitting one by one. Well, walk him through the SIP a few times. He thought, maybe I should pay them more. Write checks, pay. But they didn't stay. Better chairs? They didn't sit. They walked. So after a while, he realized that, oh, maybe it was Bob. You see, Bob was so concerned about the company's reputation, he felt he really needed to work the magic. Back home, at night, he would stay up and audit the code, line by line, way into the night. Without enough sleep, he'd show up at work all cranky, start barking at everybody. The engineers thought, who needs that? Bye-bye. To Bob's credit, he was able to pivot. He adjusted his behavior, make some changes, and the team came together and became more productive, and the company is doing extremely well. So in conclusion, I didn't get here because I have a perfect plan. I got here because I was willing to go through the messy, unfamiliar, confusing complexity. With this process, it got me out of the sweatshop, across the ocean for my education. Changed different career, and even helping clients like Bob. This can help you too. Whether you are working on a business, leading teams, or just trying to figure out some sticky situation, remember, there must be a way. Without the menu, math, or magic, you have the wherewithal to turn the complexity into opportunity. All you have to do, take a deep breath and do this. Sip, sip, sip. Just remember, every significant venture and accomplishment comes from complexity. Thank you.